and go 120. I asked for this life. I walked down the aisle. I asked for this life. I signed up for this. You signed up for it. I don't want to hear no excuses. Shut up. You don't have that kind of energy. You don't have that kind of time. Shut up. While you are talking about what you don't like, you're wasting time from the grind. You're wasting time on making your dreams become reality while you're whining and complaining. I got to man up and go 120. I asked for this life. I walked down the aisle. I asked for this life. I signed up for this. You signed up for it. I don't want to hear no excuses. Shut up. You don't have that kind of energy. You don't have that kind of time. Shut up. While you are talking about what you don't like, you're wasting time from the grind. You're wasting time on making your dreams become reality while you're whining and complaining.
Well, hello. It's been a minute. I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. I launched my new channel at Premier Sports. Got tongue-tied there. My apologies. I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. It's been a minute. I just want to thank you all who supported the channel. Down in the subscription, I'll have the link to my new channel. I was trying to wait till I got the required subscribes to actually do this particular live airing on the new channel, Premier Sports Media for You. It is down in the subscription. Again, it's at Premier Sports Media for You. But what I wanted to talk on today is something that has been, I won't say troubling me, but a topic that I wanted to speak on. And I want to ask for you all to really engage whenever you watch this video, whenever you engage, is to hit that thumbs up to help push this live feed out, because I really needed to go out to as many people as possible. Drop your comments, drop your views, good, bad, or indifferent, and let me know how you feel. So I want to start out with that. Within this thumbnail, you will see a picture of Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders' father. We know him as Coach Prime. He got that cowboy hat on. He got that, I don't even know what kind of fur that is, but he's looking good. He's feeling good. And his life is good because he defeated, by the grace of God, the battle with cancer. But when you look in the thumbnail, the reason why I'm addressing this from the beginning is I need you to put in the comments, what do you all think when you see that picture? Because in the end of this video, I'm going to drop down the significance and the meaning of this thumbnail where you see Shedeur Sanders' father has what looks like, if you remember, for those that can remember the original Wonder Woman, she had what's called the Lasso of Truth. And that's what that gold, fiery rope that's latching on to around Shedeur Sanders, that is the lasso. It's not the lasso of truth. It's the lasso of strength. So when you hear me say that his father has the lasso of strength wrapping around his son, Shedeur Sanders, I need you to tell me, what do you think that means? And then you see Shedeur Sanders with his head down. His head's down. Do you think that his head is down because he is weary? Do you think that his head is down because he's defeated? Or do you think his head's down because he's giving up? Tell me, what do you think? I can just do a whole live airing just on the significance of this thumbnail. And then lastly, I want to touch on, you see the chains that are surrounding Shedeur Sanders. You see the chains that are wrapped around Shedeur Sanders, not shackles, but chains. Do you see that being a sign of him being in bondage? Do you see them chains around him as a sign that not preventing him to excel to what God has for him? Tell me your thoughts. I really, really want to know. I wanted to hit you with you hard, heavy, and wonderful with this opening because they say a picture speaks a volume, a thousand words without even a word being spoken. I know that his mother, Shedeur Sanders, is has a great appreciation of art, Miss Pilar. But what do you think? I need you to drop your comments. What do you see when you see this thumbnail? And then also in the thumbnail, you see on the upper right-hand side of the thumbnail, you see various different, if you don't know what type of NFL players they are NFL quarterbacks. And there are several NFL quarterbacks there. Tell me, what do you think when you see those NFL quarterbacks in there? Then you see the number 42. What does that number 42 represent? And in the very end of this particular live episode on Premier Sports Talk that just launched the new live channel at Premier Sports Media for You. This is where I wanted to launch this particular live segment. I was waiting for it. But I'm close to 4,000 subscribers on Premier Sports Talk, and I had asked each and every one of my subscribers, even if all you like is short videos, if you could tap in to at Premier Sports Media for You. I need about, I think, 20 more to go live on that channel. This is where I want to do all my live content in 2026. But until I'm able to launch that new channel live, I'm going to keep on talking to you and have you listen to me and watching with me on Premier Sports Talk. But I got to give you all the thanks, all the praise, all the appreciation for blessing Premier Sports Talk to close to 4,000 subscribers. So again, before I start cooking with you on this, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed, but listen very closely. Subscribe to at Premier Sports Media for You. And then drop your comments. So I want to start out in this first segment is, even though the NFL season is over for the Cleveland Browns, there has been total chaos still up there in Cleveland, Ohio. There's been all kind of chaos. You know, before Shedeur Sanders was drafted in the NFL draft with pick 144 by the Cleveland Browns, at least I know myself, wasn't tapped into the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders, with his magnetism, with his mass following, you know, to the young and the old, we support Shedeur Sanders. We will not allow any of the negativity and the slander come against him without us standing up. Not only for Shedeur Sanders, but the entire Sanders family. But I want to tap into the chaos that's still going on. It's just crazy. It's like there's that term, misery likes company. Misery likes company. And since the Cleveland Browns haven't been relevant for all these number of years, they dwell in the misery instead of looking at what has been given to them. Before Shedeur Sanders was drafted, he said to every last NFL team, if you want your culture to change, if you want the franchise to change, he is the one to be able to achieve it. And he's not just boasting, he's not just bragging, he has proven it. Instead of going to some major college like Florida State or Alabama or whatever big NCAA team, he chose to support his father, the support of father and son to father. Shedeur Sanders chose to go to Jackson State, a HBCU. And for those of you who may not know what HBCU means, historically black college. He went there and changed that franchise around. He proved it once. Like he said, history repeats itself. for those who God has chosen. I want to make sure I point that out. History repeats itself for God's anointed, for God's chosen. If you agree or disagree, if Shedeur Sanders has changed the culture and the trajectory of college football teams, let me know wherever he has went. He then left to leave Jackson State, went on to Colorado, and went to a 1-11 team and turned that college team around. So he wasn't bragging, he wasn't boasted. Everywhere his footsteps have been ordered by the grace of the Most High, he has elevated that particular college football team. And he has everything it takes, the gifts, the traits, the confidence, the self-awareness, the belief to elevate any NFL team. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but there's also that other saying where they say that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And Shedeur Sanders has been a walking, living testimony to all of us that we may not get picked first in whatever occupation that we're going after. We may not get picked first to be on the first team of a college team or NFL team, or we may get looked over for a position. That's even happened to me in my lifetime where I got looked over for a position, but in the end, by the grace of God, I achieved what God had planned for me. You see, what's crazy is that all the naysayers, all the doubters, all the so-called haters that has whatever derogatory comments or ill will thoughts towards the Sanders family, what they have to know is what God has for us, we shall obtain it. It cannot be taken away from us. Like my man in life, in football, Colin Moore, I love his channel. He likes to say, the Red Sea will be parted. I love that metaphor. No matter all the obstacles that have been placed in front of Shedeur Sanders, he didn't tap out. He didn't throw in the towel. And instead of whimpering in the corner and shriveling up, he draw closer to the Most High. He who lean upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. Oh Lord, yes, he will. He is a living, walking testimony to all of us, y'all. But I want to give you some things. There are going to be people that speak negative about Shedeur Sanders in these live videos, not these live videos, but these loud sound bites against Shedeur Sanders. But I'm gonna follow it up with the possibility, with the positivity that has been spoken towards Shedeur Sanders. You know, the enemy always lurks and seeks to destroy, but God will always put angels in our path to lift us up, to give us strength and support us. Again, I need you to drop your comments. I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. And again, I launched that new live channel at Premier Sports Media for You. It's down in my description. Please go to that channel and subscribe to the channel. Bless me in 2026, and you shall receive a blessing back double fold. Now let me get to it right here. So let's get to where I want to get to where Mary Kay is saying that how the media is not speaking against Shedeur Sanders.
Here, I think one of the biggest question marks is the quarterback position. We've been mentioning it. He mentioned it. I may be in the minority. I think that there is a pretty good chance that 3 of the quarterbacks that are in the room right now come back next year. What's your idea on whether or not, those guys will be here? Do you think that the Browns are going to go after a high-name veteran, or potentially a quarterback in this year's draft?
Well, I think what they're doing right now, and I think this is really smart, is Andrew stated yesterday that the new head coach is going to have a say in the quarterback. And I think that's vitally important. You have to do that. You can't bring in a head coach or sit down across from a head coach and interview him and say, here is your quarterback. This is what you have to work with. They are not going to limit themselves in that way. Even though that I think in my heart of hearts that this organization has seen things from Shedeur Sanders that leads them to believe that he can be their guy, they're going to let their new head coach weigh in on that. I've seen things from Shedeur Sanders that leads me to believe that there's something special there, and that when you surround him with a really good supporting cast and a good offensive line, that we'll even see more of that in the coming years. Will he get that chance? I do think it is going to depend in part on how the new head coach feels about him. And I don't think that they're going to hire their head coach based on the fact that he loves Shedeur Sanders. I think they're going to go into it more open-minded than that and take an unflinching look at their quarterback situation. They know that they've got to get it right. And I do think...
So that's Mary Kay Cabot. She works for the Cleveland.com. She's actually the beat reporter that works directly for the Cleveland Browns organization. Now, depending upon what day of the week it is, I'm going to try to keep this as positive as I can. Depending upon what day of the week it is and which way the wind is blowing, north, south, east, or west, Mary Kay Cabot, she can flop. And if any of you that know Mary Kay Cabot, I need you to drop your opinions. How do you feel about Mary Kay Cabot? Try to keep the comments as pleasant as possible. That's what I ask. Try to keep them as pleasant as possible. But speak your truth, good, bad, or indifferent. So, you know, a lot of people wanted to see Kevin Stefanski fired. And on this day, January the 10th, we already know that Kevin Stefanski has been fired. He's already interviewed with 3 other teams so far: the Tennessee Titans, the New York Giants, and I forget the third team he interviewed with. There's a third team he already interviewed with also. I do know the Giants and the Titans he did interview with so far. He has like 2 more interviews to go today. But depending upon who the new coach they bring in will determine really the trajectory of Shedeur Sanders' future. But again, I want to say what God has for us, can't no man take it away from us. No man, no woman, not this world, can't take it away from us. Because God's plan, or should I say, God's word shall not go forth void. It will not return to him empty. So whatever God speaks for our life, we shall receive it. I'm dropping some spiritual nuggets, y'all. God's word will not return to him void or come back empty. Meaning that whatever he speaketh, it shall be so. So, you know, I got to tell you, in this journey of following the Sanders family, to keep it a buck, to keep it real, I got emotionally attached to this Sanders family. I really did. Because all the scrutiny and the criticism and the unfair slander comments that comes against them. But I need y'all to do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel at Premier Sports Media for you, and you can subscribe to Premier Sports Talk also. But my hope and desire and wish is that if you can subscribe to at Premier Sports Media for you, it's down in the description. But I'm curious to who the Cleveland Browns is going to hire as their head coach. So there's this guy named Jason Lloyd. I got to find this one, man. This guy, his name is Jason Lloyd. He writes for The Athletic. He's on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show up there in Cleveland, Ohio. But Jason Lloyd is something else. He is a Shedeur hater.
There's a chance that if you do, you know, there might be something. Remember that? Yeah, we don't have that problem. Quarterback's
Listen to Jason Lloyd.
Quarterback's not. We got to take quarterback.
Oh, really?
It's not Shedeur.
They will take a quarterback. The question is where they end up in the draft, and do they believe in Mendoza or more? Right now, if they lose out, they're likely going to get the 2.
They're not going to have to trade up. They're going to be.
If they don't have to trade up, I think they absolutely take one. And they're in the 2 spot.
Well, you say they wouldn't have to trade up, but if they're in the 2 spot and they only like one of the 2 quarterbacks, then
Sure, but I don't think we're going to be in that spot. You're right. I don't think we're going to be in that
Yeah,
I can't stand
I'm
this.
well, they like both. They'd be fine.
I'm interested in you like both.
I'm interested in hearing the why. Because you can say he needs more around him. You can say.
Now, guys, I want y'all to pay close attention to what Jason Lloyd is saying.
He does.
Offensive line. You can say the offensive line isn't any good. Listen, the metrics will tell you, and there's more than the metrics. The metrics will tell you he is the worst quarterback this century.
You hear this?
He's worse than Jamarcus
Okay,
Russell.
explain that, and we've talked about it before.
It takes into account down and distance, field position, home or away, time and score. It is the most all-encompassing metric that you can use to measure quarterbacks. It takes into account records. It takes into account everything. It is the most all-encompassing stat. And every time he drops back, the Browns lose more points than any quarterback since 2000, since True Media started marking this. It's worse than Marcus Russell.
It has to be hundreds.
It doesn't.
It's 133, I think, is the number. Maybe more than that. I don't remember. But,
and we also know this: the Browns lean on those kind of metrics.
yeah, but it's more than that. It's more than that. He still doesn't know what he's looking at. He still doesn't flip protections. He doesn't.
There you are.
Now I had to stop it right there. When I first listened to this on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, I almost blew a blood vessel. Do you hear Jason Lloyd? He said Shedeur Sanders still doesn't know what he's looking at. He still doesn't know how to move the protection when he's up on the line, which is total blasphemy. Straight out lie. We seen the man during the games when you watching him. Calling the plays, calling the audibles, talking to the linemen, adjusting the protection. But this man, just so he can bring relevance to himself, is being a slanderer. Is coming after Shedeur, attacking his intelligence. But see, I'm not just going to play all the negative in this particular live segment. I'm going to give you positivities, light being spoken in Shedeur, and then the negative, the enemy that comes after Shedeur. You know, a lot of times the players in professional sports, they say they don't listen to the media. They don't focus on what's being spoken about them. But it gets back to them. And none of us are invincible. So it does affect our spirit. But see, that's when we got to be connected to the one true vine. We got to be connected to the one true vine for our strength to be renewed. Well, let's finish this.
This isn't me saying this. I'm not an NFL. I've never claimed to be an NFL coach. This is people in that building will tell me.
See, this is what he's going off of. He said, this is not what he's saying. This is people in the organization that they're telling him.
He still doesn't know how to flip protections. He doesn't know when he's hot. He doesn't know what he's looking at. He can only throw to wide open receivers. He doesn't make tight window throws. He doesn't throw guys open.
Do you hear what this guy say? He only throws to wide open receivers.
BS.
He can't make tight window throws. This is what people are telling him.
This is not the answer. These last 2 weeks were the opportunity coming off the Titans game to show that he can be the guy against playoff contenders, and he has not lived up to it.
This man, I'm trying to keep my words positive. This man is delusional. There's also a word that tells us, do not speak against my anointed. Do not speak against my anointed. His family calls Shedeur chosen. His family calls Shedeur grown. And then he's even recently got the nickname franchise. He got the nickname franchise before he even stepped foot on any NFL team. But see, sometimes when we have things that others want or what others envy, they speak against us and insult our character. It's crazy. Drop your thoughts, y'all. I really didn't want to drop this live airing until the new channel was able to go live and meet the YouTube requirements at Premier Sports Media for you. But within my spirit, I couldn't hold it in no more. I didn't even want to do a live post until Premier Sports Media for you is down in the description until that was able to go live. But the Most High told me to get out my feelings. I blessed you with Premier Sports Talk. Don't be greedy. I blessed you with almost 4,000 subscribers. Don't take it for granted. That's what he spoke to me today. And then when I tried to be disobedient and not launch this live post, he sat me down, and I'm here in front of you today. Because when we hear a whisper in our ear, when we feel the presence of the Most High, if we want to have a prosperous life, we have to obey what is spoken to us and allow the path for our feet to follow where God wants us to be. So I said I wasn't going to give you all negativity in this post. I'm going to show people that speak life into Shedeur Sanders against those who send arrows his way with the words from their snake tongues. But then I'm going to have NFL players. I'm going to have NBA players and former NFL players speak life also into Shedeur Sanders. Now, this is Joe Thomas, retired Hall of Fame offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns. Listen to what he has to say about Shedeur Sanders.
We saw some glimpses in here that were pretty good.
Then you're grading everything on a curve. I mean, unless you're in those meeting rooms, you don't know what the coaching is from Kevin Stefanski to Shedeur. You don't know what it's like from the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. But those are the things that he'll be evaluated on, right? And us as fans, we have no idea, but they know in those meetings, like, hey, this is what we asked him to do. This is where we wanted his eyes to be. This is where we were asking his footwork. And if the pocket's collapsing and he's not able to get to a second or third read and the first read's not open and the defense in the secondary is closing those windows tightly like Buffalo does, like, you just have to grade him on basically what he told him to do. And we talked about this a week ago. It is tough. There's not a lot of easy things and easy throws out there when you're not getting the protection you need. But you just have to look at, all right, what are we asking him to do? And then was he able to do that until the point that the pocket broke down? And I think without being in that room, it's hard to know exactly, but I think he did a great job of it. I mean, it seems like other than those things that you mentioned, starting to take sacks, which really is more of, in my opinion, like he didn't feel comfortable throwing into tight windows. There was no easy answers to fill the football down the field. And so he was really sort of in that tough moment where he didn't really know exactly what to do. And then typically you do fall back on some of those bad habits of trying to escape out of the back of the pocket or holding on to it too long. But it's a tough situation when you're trying to come back from a.
So that's Joe Thomas, Hall of Famer. Joe Thomas, offensive lineman, Hall of Famer for the that played with the Cleveland Browns. He spoke truth there, y'all. He spoke truth. He's an offensive lineman. Sometimes you can't throw the ball, and you have to hold on to the ball if your wide receivers aren't open. You want them to throw an interception? Sometimes you take a sack because the offensive linemen are getting blown up so bad that it's all over social media that number 68 and number 72, the left tackle and the right tackle, is getting blown up. Like an M80 like a grenade, getting blown up on the line, getting knocked on their gluteus maximus, trying to stay positive here, getting knocked on their ASS back into Shedeur Sanders, gets hit back as he's throwing the ball, which caused one of the interceptions that we saw this year, where he's having to scramble for his life. And then they want to say he didn't have the ability to scramble, but yet we seen Shedeur Sanders looking like his father, Coach prime time, scatting, moving, dodging, for a first down, and then throwing that wrist up. I've been able to go into some other videotapes from the Cleveland Browns website from the organization where Shedeur Sanders was mic'd up, and I loved hearing him say, "I'm getting heated up, I'm getting heated up," when he takes and do his wrist like this, not putting his arm up, but it's like he's telling his players on the offensive side of the ball, "I'm getting heated up, I'm getting heated up." Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's just crazy of how, like I said, depending upon how the wind is blowing up there, the narrative that's spoken against this young man, the derogatory comments that are spoken against this young man. There is nothing that this young man has done. He hasn't been arrested. He hasn't stolen from anybody. He hasn't physically abused anybody. But yet, they tear him down because of his affiliation, of the animosity that they have against his father, Coach Prime. I almost tapped into, don't forget, I need y'all to stay. I need you to stay. I need you to listen, because I'm going to break down this thumbnail of Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, got that lasso of strength around Shedeur and what it actually means. I need you to drop your comments. You tell me what you think it is. The chains that are wrapped around him, what that actually means. The number 42 up in the right-hand corner, what that actually means. And then what the actual meaning of his head being bowed down. You tell me, what do you think it means? Tell me, what do you think it means? Drop your comments in here, y'all. Drop your comments. I need y'all to bless me. Hit that thumbs up button. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Now, I want y'all to hear what Dwayne Wade, that's right, NBA retired Dwayne Wade, NBA champion. I believe he has 2 NBA titles. He may have 3, 2 for sure I know about. But listen to what Shedeur Sanders, not Shedeur Sanders, listen to what Dwayne Wade had to say about Shedeur Sanders' intestinal fortitude. I'm going to repeat that word. Listen to what Dwayne Wade has to say about Shedeur Sanders' intestinal fortitude.
I love how he don't throw nobody on the bus. I love how he's a leader. He takes it. Like, they try to turn him against his coach every time they can. I love how he would not allow anyone to turn him against anybody. Well, when he steps up there on that podium, you get to see the leader that he is. Yes. And why he is, especially as he is. Right. And he always put on for his father. I love that. He don't run from the smoke to hit Sanders. At the end of the day, the big guy got him, right? Only God can judge him. So, bro, I love Shedeur.
Did you hear what he said? He loves the way Shedeur Sanders is handling his business. They want to say Shedeur Sanders is a 5th-round quarterback at one spoken moment, but then they want to treat him like he's the franchise quarterback, the face of the organization, of the team. You know, he's in a damned if he do, damned if he don't situation. But again, I say, he who lean upon the Lord, he shall renew our strength. This young man is a walking testimony. And there are some words that his father spoke this week that we're in right now about the admiration and the growth that he's seen in his son, but I cannot give you that until I break down the meaning of this thumbnail, the significant meaning of this thumbnail. Now, he said, Dwayne Wade said that he liked how Shedeur Sanders did not throw his coach under the bus. That's what we call being the bigger man, taking the high road. He could have threw Kevin Stefanski under the bus, let all the dirty laundry out, but he took the high road. He took the high road. Now let's see the positive thing that Shedeur Sanders had to say about one of his last conversations with Kevin Stefanski.
Obviously, there's a lot of speculation about Kevin's future. How nice is it to finish the season with a win for him?
I think, just because Kev, he been real tough. He been tough, you know, and it's good. I think I grew and I learned a lot from him. I think this week we had a conversation just about things, you know what I'm saying, just about things in general. And I feel like, you know, we grew to understand each other. You know, we share different things, you know, that we will go through, you know. So I think, I know he wanted this win, and I know he wants every win, but I know this one means a lot. And I don't know. I wish we all, like as a team, and I wish everybody could have got more personal, you know, within this last year. Rashawn even came over my house a couple of days ago, you know, and like I said, in that very time, he came over my house. And just talking like, bro, like speaking life into me, and that's what I needed. And I'm truly thankful for him, and his presence definitely is missed.
Did y'all hear what Shedeur said? Quinshon Judkins, the running back, who dislocated his ankle, fractured his fibula in his leg, by the grace of God, didn't tear up his knee. He said, you know, Shedeur was on the podium. He's saying how bad he felt about it because he was the one that threw him the ball when he got injured like that. But he said, Quinshon, this was the last game of the season against the Cincinnati Bengals. He said, Quinshon Judkins came over his house. He came over his house during a dark time and spoke life into him. Spoke life into him. I'm going to say that again. He said, Quinshon Judkins, the running back that got hurt, dislocated his ankle, broke his leg, came over his house during a dark time and spoke life into him. I don't know how many of you have been following this journey of Shedeur Sanders, but since the beginning, we heard Shedeur Sanders speak spiritually and speak about his relationship with God and how he hears him speaking to him and he gives him strength, and he spoke out loud how he's been seeing, he's been getting visions of what is to come before it happens. Anybody that is connected to the one true vine, these things do happen. What am I trying to say here? I'm going to break it down in layman's terms. If something happens to a stranger, we typically don't have any feelings towards them, good, bad, or indifferent. But when something happens to somebody we know, that we establish a relationship with, that we care about, there is a bond there. There is a connection there. And that last game of the season, Shedeur Sanders' body language was off. It was totally off. I was on the phone with somebody before I went to watch the game, and I was seeing the pregame warm-ups, and I was telling somebody, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. His body language is like he don't even want to be out there for the last game of the season. And lo and behold, after the game, Shedeur Sanders said he was being spiritually attacked. There were some spiritual things that was going on in his life leading up to that last week, that his mind wasn't right. But in the end, God's plan prevailed. He played a horrible first 3 quarters, but that last quarter in the fourth quarter, that light went off and the glory of the Most High shined, and he won that game. We heard Jason Lloyd earlier, and I played it saying that Shedeur ain't the one. But Shedeur Sanders was the first rookie quarterback since 1995. Since first rookie quarterback to win his first career start. Joe Flacco started out with the team early before he got traded off to the Cincinnati Bengals. Didn't get as many as wins as Shedeur Sanders. Dylan Gabriel played before Shedeur Sanders. Didn't get as many wins for the team as Shedeur Sanders. But then again, I say, and I repeat what I said earlier, God's plan always prevails for us when we are his chosen. The first will be last, and the last shall be first. But when the last becomes first, the glory of the Most High shines when we are elevated. They put him on purpose at the worst part of the year, the NFL season. No weapon formed against us shall prosper when we are chosen by the Most High. Through all the elements, he prevailed. There's a word that says we fall down, but we get up when we are connected to the Most High. It's okay for us to fall, because in our falls in our life, in our failures in our life, there's always a lesson to be learned. And when we learn that lesson, we get out of that repetitive cycle bin and we are elevated to where the next level where God leads us to be, y'all. I don't want to make this too long. I want to do one more voice stream. But somebody else, it's funny how the media bashes Shedeur Sanders and how people criticize Shedeur Sanders that really don't have anything affiliated with the game or never played the game, majority of them. But then those who not only play the game, but coach the game, speaks highly of Shedeur Sanders. And this is my Coach Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Certainly see him gravitating towards some young players whose roles are expanding since the last time we played him. Shedeur is doing a really good job. He's growing and growing with each week from an outsider's perspective. And I think it's always cool when you're growing with company.
That's 19-year NFL coaching career, Mike Tomlin. He wasn't the only coach that came out and spoke highly of Shedeur. The Buffalo Bills, who barely beat the Cleveland Browns. The Bills beat the Cleveland Browns 23-20. But Sean McDermott spoke very highly of Shedeur and said how he's learning and growing and developing, and he's dangerous. He used the word dangerous. Pete Carroll, who got fired from the Las Vegas Raiders, who Shedeur lit up in that game also, spoke highly of Shedeur. The Tennessee Titan coach, who's no longer with the Tennessee Titans, spoke highly of Shedeur. Spoke highly of Shedeur. Now you tell me your thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent. And Shedeur Sanders was given the opportunity to get the reps and optional training camp and in training camp. If he would have got the reps that he should have got, do you think the Cleveland Browns record would have been better than what it was? Matter of fact, do you think the Cleveland Browns would have been actually playing in the NFL playoffs. The Cleveland Browns did beat my Pittsburgh Steelers, y'all. Jason Lloyd want to say that Shedeur Sanders was one of the worst quarterbacks ever that's ever entered the NFL draft, but yet he went head to head with my Pittsburgh Steelers and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers when the Cleveland Browns had lost to him early. He beat a soon-to-be Hall of Famer quarterback, toe-to-toe Aaron Rodgers. Geno Smith for the Raiders, been in the league forever, beat the Las Vegas Raiders. Shedeur Sanders won 3 games for the organization, but yet they want to say Shedeur Sanders ain't him. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. So I don't want this to go too long. I see I'm actually be able to make this a part 2. But before I make this a part 2, I have to give you the meaning. I got to throw my glasses on here. Of this thumbnail of the lasso. Because this is what was brought into my spirit, y'all. This thumbnail of his father's Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, with the lasso of strength. It's not the lasso of truth, it's the lasso of strength. And with the quarterback that's up in the right-hand corner. This thumbnail speaks 1,000 words. And it can mean many different things to many different people. But I want to tell you what was spoke to my spirit. Is that the change represents all the criticism of this world, all the weight that is placed upon this young man's shoulders. I'm going to say it again. The change represents all the undue criticism that he has to endure, and the weight that is placed upon his shoulders. That's going to my head, and words is being spoken to my mind. When we are chosen by the Most High, sometimes we have to be a sacrificial lamb. And the word tells us that he that endures through the end, he shall win the race. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. And that lasso, that fire that's burning, the lasso of strength. You see, many of us, we are not attached to people that can speak life into us at times. Sometimes we fall out with a family member or a friend. And when we are isolated, that's when we really need to lean on the Lord that's going to need to renew our strength. Because, you know, we have the angel on one shoulder and the enemy on our other shoulder. And when we are alone, that sometimes we don't know if it's the whisper of an angel or if it's a whisper of an enemy trying to deceive us. But in our darkest times, and I'm going back to what Shedeur Sanders said, in our darkest time, angels comes in many forms. An angel be placed in our path to speak life into us. That lasso of strength represents, it's his father, but what does a father represent? A lineage, a legacy, his family. A lineage, a legacy, his family. He doesn't come from a broken home. He's supported by each and every one of his family members to give him strength that he leans on, that speaks life into him when the world sends all negative arrows and rocks our way. We always want to criticize somebody, but the word always tells us that he who has not sinned, let him throw the first stone. So we need to be mindful of the negativity and the criticism that we speak and look at our own faults and choose to speak life into somebody instead of death. I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk, and the new channel at Premier Sports Media for you. I ain't done yet. I still got to wrap up this image. Subscribe to both channels. It's in the description. Drop your comments. Be a blessing to me in 2026, and I'm going to pray that you all receive a double blessing back, double fold. That number 42 in the upper right-hand corner represents Shedeur Sanders is the 42nd quarterback. Starting quarterback, Cleveland Browns. That culture, that curse. You see, you got somebody that's been chosen by the Most High that can remove those chains, that can remove the bondage on that organization. But when we don't appreciate what we have, that's for all of us. It's taken away from us. That's just the truth. That's just real talk. That lasso, and the notes I wrote to myself, represents the internal bond and the connection to his family that will always allow them to keep moving forward because they are rooted in the Most High. They have, each and every one of them have a personal relationship with God. And I want to leave you with a question or a statement. And then I'm going to close it with what Deion had to say about his son just a couple days ago. And my closing notes I wrote here to myself. You see, the NFL, that shield up there, that's a shield representing something in the world. That is a shield that has men behind it of wealth that are afraid of the new generation or afraid of anything that may threaten the ways and their rules. You see, earlier, everybody's had the scene, and if you had it, before the NFL draft, Roger Goodell told Shedeur Sanders when I forget where they were at. Roger Goodell told Shedeur Sanders he wasn't afraid of Shedeur Sanders. He was afraid of his father, Coach Prime. And Shedeur's reply back was, "Why are you afraid of Pops?" And Roger Goodell laughed it off. Shedeur Sanders asked Roger Goodell, "Why are you afraid of my Pops?" The NFL, and also, it was also said, during the draft slide, that quarterback that used to play for the Bengals, I ain't know when you say his name, but he boasted about how he was told that the owners were saying, remove that son of a off the board, that entitled son of a, remove him off the board. We don't want that type of person. You see, the NFL felt threatened because the Sanders family represents, I'm about to drop it on you, I'm going to drop a premier drop on you. The Sanders family represents a brand that is bigger than the NFL. Boom! The Sanders family represents a brand, a new way of thinking, a mindset that's bigger than the NFL. You see, Shedeur Sanders already coming in with being well off as far as his financial status. He doesn't need the NFL contract to bring value to him. Matter of fact, his endorsements and what he makes outside of the NFL is more money than his NFL contract. You see, they want to say Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and Shedeur Sanders, and Bucky and Shallow that they are arrogant, but it's not arrogance. People take arrogance for confidence, and they feel threatened by it. That shield is threatened by the confidence of any young minority that is well off, that has their own brand, and is already financially stable to where the NFL cannot dangle that little contract and do as I say. Mindset. You see, if Shedeur Sanders represents the brand that's bigger than the NFL shield, he's just the first. He's giving hope to a new generation. He's a beacon of light. And what y'all need to do is, this is a little homework for you. Shedeur, you can Gemini it, Chat GPT it, Google it. Put in the comments what Shedeur's first name means. It's going to blow your mind if you don't know. Not just Shedeur, but that entire family has a personal relationship with the Most High. And anybody that has a relationship with the Most High, he will always put his angel wings of protection and cover us. So let me leave you with what his father had to say. This has been a spiritual journey, y'all, for Shedeur. And if we think we've been on a roller coaster this NFL season, oh, this soap opera's just starting. Season 2's on its way, baby. And we can't get caught up in our own feelings. Because the path for Shedeur Sanders has already been made. And we just got to continue to pray for him and his family and support his family. But let's listen to what Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, had to say about his son.
A lot of things happen behind the curtains that people are not privy to, and I'm proud of his endurance, his understanding, and where God allowed him to be and where he is now spiritually. Like, he's come so far spiritually, you have no idea. You can't control a lot of things that transpire, but he learned a lot as a young man. He learned a lot. You got to understand, that was his first time cutting the umbilical cord that we had together, and he was out there on his own, and he had to do what he had to do, and he made it through storms. I get on his nerve with text messages before and after the game about the direction and everything, because I'm trying to protect him in certain ways, because I know him like a book. But he's been doing a phenomenal job. But not only with his after the game pressers about the game, but just giving hope, man. Yeah. Giving hope to the shorties and the people that has been ostracized. He is a role model for that.
So we come full circle. I didn't know I was going to end right here. I have so much that I've been working on to do this live video post. And I've been putting it off, but I had to be obedient and listen to what was being spoken in my spirit and push this out. And I'm hoping that for all that's had an ear to hear and see this episode, it's not by mistake. Hopefully it's a symbol of inspiration. Hopefully it's a way that gives hope to your spirit. And we can continue to uplift Shedeur. Prayers are powerful. I truly believe in that with all my heart. Prayers are powerful. So let's keep sending those prayers up and speaking life in Shedeur Sanders, because the arrows haven't stopped coming his way, or even at our way. But continue to lean upon the Lord, and he will renew all our strength. Our storms are never meant to destroy us. They're meant to teach us lessons, give us internal fortitude, and draw us closer in our relationship with the Most High. I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk, and at Premier Sports Media for you. Do me a favor, bless the channel, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, drop your comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for being a blessing, and may you and your extended family receive double blessings.